everyone, Cat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile with the lumpy ponytail and all. Hope you're all doing really well. And I've just got a short one because we're doing a TBR video. And one of the books I will be reading is a buddy read. And then I will be amazed if I get more than that read. So we just have 3 physical books. And of course, I will be reading on my Kindle. And I, for once, actually know what will be on my Kindle because I have been reading this awesome uh, fantasy series by Shannon Mayer. See if I can pull up one of them right now. Ah, I don't know how well you can. That shows up. Kind of got some glare going, but it's uh the Wyvern's Lair. It's a 9-part series, and if you don't like cussing and dirty jokes, this is not the series for you. If you're okay with foul language and a lot of euphemisms, it's freaking hilarious. It's a 9-part series. It started with I found the witch's lair, you know, like last year and finally got around to it in January at my favorite used bookstore. Loved it. And I'm trying to read a few series like through completion on Kindle Unlimited before that trial is up in like end of July. So one of them that I was reading ended up making me mad, so I gave up on that series after the 5th book. I just started the 5th one on that one, and I'm freaking loving it. So we will be reading that, and then we're getting into the book that I probably will be the only one that I read. It by Stephen King. Yeah, this is a chunkster. I have done the math, and to start it on the first and get through the entire book, I'm gonna have to read 37 pages a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in case I don't finish, I'm still trying to read this. Normally, if y'all been here for a while, y'all know I have a little TBR challenge with myself in the shorts. I've got a little series going, and usually about, every 5, 6 days or so, if I get around to it. It's like, hey, I finished this book. Y'all will have noticed it's been about 2 weeks, and it's not because I forgot to film. I'm still reading it because I was getting maybe 10 pages a day all of last week because somebody who is, hard to see, he's climbed back out a little bit. He kept snuggling with me when we got home after showering and living on Jack and everything and putting me to sleep. And this week, the heat and everything else is not helping. I thought I was going to finish it yesterday. Nope, I've been managing maybe 30 pages a day, so I still have, 62 pages to go. Maybe I'll finish this on tonight's reading sprints. If not, it's gonna be a carryover probably. But I'm gonna be horrored out before the end of this year, but you know what? That's okay. Either that or it'll become my favorite genre, because we did horror mayhem in May. And of course, y'all know me, I can't just read one genre, hence I got fantasy, and I have a backup plan of a nice action packed, thriller on my phone to finish off one series that they just put out a new book on if I do finish that this month. But Ven and Noah, whose channels I will link down below, are doing Don't Die in July. And then I will be doing Summerween whenever I find my first, Halloween decoration of the year. And we know that's probably going to end up all around the house year round. So I'll be kicking that off probably in, August and going until, Halloween and just sprinkling in stuff along with all the others that I love to read. So I'm buddy reading this one with a couple awesome folks, including, Randy, the literate Texan. So I'm excited. I've never done a buddy read before, so if you're scared of this chunkster and want to start, we're kicking this sucker off in July, and there will be weekly updates of how far did I get. This might take a couple months. My goodness. I'm reading more of this one as I only got that far. It is the Vampire Sextet. And no, that's not just being dirty. There are 6 stories in here. I read 2 for the Horror Mayhem. Well, 1 and part of 1. I didn't enjoy the first one. I ended up skipping it. So I'm going to try to read 2 more out of this. Let's see here. what stories are those going to be? I honestly do not know. So yeah, the one that I ended up skipping was The Other Side of Midnight by Kim Newman, which does not bode well for a plan that I had for, yeah, Summerween, because there's a book by her that has been making the rounds, and it's about vampires and sounds awesome, but I didn't like the style. And then Some Velvet Morning by Nancy Collins was the other one that I read. I wish that had been a full book. That was a really fun one. And then this month I've got Sheena by Brian Stableford. Never heard of him. And Vanilla Blood by S.P. Sometime. I don't know. I've never heard of either of those, but we'll see if they're any good. And to break up the horror and fantasy, though still kind of creepy, we've got Bedeviled by Sable Grace. That I feel like I read this before, but I guess not. Maybe it's just been on my shelf forever and it has a similar cover style to something else that I ended up not being too into because Goodreads says I've never read it. It's not even started to read it and gave up. So I have no idea. This is another one that it's used. I did not do that to it. So I think there, yeah, the humidity, because this is in my TBR shelf and my dining room might have not have helped, but she's done the unthinkable, turned her best friend into a dark breed. Part vampire, lichen, and witch. I'm not sure what lichen is, but maybe it's a British thing because they spelled vampire wrong. It's got a Y instead of an I. It says, Kiana thought only to save her friend's life when she fed Haven her blood. Instead, she created a monster. Now the woman she thought of as a sister is under the spell of an ancient, vengeful god, determined to set him free and wreak havoc on the mortal world. And only Kiana can stop her. But time is running out. In just 7 days, Kiana's vampire and lichen abilities will have gone, and she'll be completely transformed into the goddess of the hunt. And her blood ties to Haven will be severed. By her side is Riker, ally, demigod, lover, who will sacrifice everything to keep Kiana safe, even the attraction that burns between them. Together, they have one chance to save Haven from herself, to save humanity from hell on Earth. So there's a bit of a romance in here, but hopefully it's mostly just paranormal action badassery. So I didn't realize how, yeah, that kind of fits in with the Don't Die July too. So I accidentally got all horror except for the fantasy and maybe the action. So, dang. Hopefully y'all like horror this month because that is what I've got going. But there will be some other stuff because I know in August I got one book planned. It's gonna be James Rollins because I already got that pre-ordered. Because y'all know your girl needs her James Rollins every year. I need some Christopher Moore too, but that's not an option. Yeah, I know he's writing more, so yay! But I don't have it yet. So, yep, that was a lot of rambling for not many books. What are y'all reading? Are y'all taking part in that Don't Die July? Are y'all getting into a jumble of different genres? What are y'all doing? Which one are you excited to read? Or maybe read with me? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.